All right, today we're jumping into a topic that, I'll admit, might sound a little bit wild at first. We're going to talk about fighting back against age-related muscle loss and how one of your greatest allies in that fight could already be in your refrigerator. Yep, we're talking about cheese.
You know, for so many years, cheese has gotten this bad rap. It's the rich, decadent food you're supposed to feel guilty about. But what if that whole story is missing a huge piece of the puzzle? What if by choosing the right kinds of cheese, you're not just indulging, you're actually sending your body a powerful signal to rebuild? Okay, let's get into it.
So first things first, we've got to understand what we're actually up against. It's a condition called sarcopenia, but it's so much more than just losing a little muscle. Think of it more like a silent, slow-motion transformation that happens inside your body over time.
And we're not just talking about feeling a little weaker. No, this is a deep biological shift. Your muscle isn't just disappearing, it's often being replaced by fat. Your cellular power plants, the mitochondria, start to slow down. It really affects everything: your balance, your metabolism, your body's overall resilience.
And look, this is not a small thing. We're talking about losing roughly 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every single year once you pass 60. That is, if you're not taking proactive steps. Now, 1% might not sound like a lot, but you let that go on for 5 or 10 years, and you're looking at a serious decline in your strength and your freedom of movement.
Now here's the most important part, the real takeaway. This is not an inevitable part of just getting old. It's driven by real biological factors that we can actually do something about. Things like chronic inflammation, not getting the right nutrients, especially one called leucine, and something called anabolic resistance, which basically means your body gets worse at using protein to build muscle. The great news is, if we target these causes, we can absolutely change the results.
And that's where, believe it or not, cheese comes into the picture. It's time to stop thinking about cheese as just a guilty pleasure and start seeing it for what it can be: a powerful, strategic tool for building a stronger, more resilient body.
So, it's time for a major reality check. The myth is that cheese is just this rich, indulgent treat. But the reality? Certain cheeses are absolute powerhouses. They're loaded with the exact amino acids and slow-digesting proteins that an aging body is crying out for to stay in what we call a state of constant repair.
So what's the secret weapon here? It all comes down to an amino acid called leucine. The best way to think about leucine is like a light switch for building new muscle. If you don't get enough of it, the switch stays off. Your body simply doesn't get the signal to start repairing and rebuilding, no matter how much protein you eat. And as you're about to see, some cheeses are just incredible sources of leucine.
Okay, so let's get right to the good stuff. We're going to focus on a power trio of cheeses. Each one has a very specific and unique job to do when it comes to repairing and maintaining your body.
First on our list is what I like to call the daytime builder: aged Parmesan. And no, this isn't just for sprinkling on your spaghetti. This cheese is a legitimate force for muscle build.
I love this because it really gets to the heart of it. There's something fundamental about Parmesan. It provides a type of nourishment that our bodies are just hardwired to recognize and use really effectively. So let's break down why this stuff is so incredible. First, it is packed with that light switch amino acid leucine to kickstart muscle repair. Because it's aged, the nutrients are super easy for your body to absorb. Plus, it's got calcium and vitamin K2, which is crucial for making sure that calcium goes to your bones, not your arteries. It even has compounds that can help fight inflammation. It's a total package.
All right, next up is our nighttime healer, cottage cheese, and its job is totally different. This one is all about fueling your body's deepest repair work, which, you guessed it, happens when you're asleep.
Think of this one as your secret weapon, the silent force that's working for you all night long. While you're resting and recharging, it's dripping the raw materials for rejuvenation right into your system. The magic here is something called casein protein. Unlike other proteins that digest fast, casein is super slow. It gives you this steady drip feed of amino acids for 6 to 8 hours straight, perfect for overnight muscle repair. On top of that, it's got tryptophan, which helps your body make melatonin for deeper sleep. It's the perfect pre-bedtime food to keep your body building, not breaking down.
And rounding out our power trio is the gut guardian, goat cheese. Now this one is a game changer for anyone who finds regular dairy a little tough on the system, which, let's be honest, becomes more common as we get older.
This is just a perfectly tailored solution. Our bodies change, right? Especially our digestion. So we need foods that work with our body's new reality, not against it. And that's exactly what goat cheese does.
So what makes it so special? Well, it's got a different kind of protein called A2 casein, which is way less inflammatory and easier for many people to digest. The fats in goat cheese are also different. They get converted into energy fast instead of being stored.
This all helps what scientists call the gut-muscle axis. Put simply, a happy gut leads to healthier, stronger muscles.
Okay, so we've got our 3 champions: Parmesan, cottage cheese, and goat cheese. Now let's put it all together into a simple, daily blueprint that brings together movement, smart nutrition, and deep restorative rest.
Here's what that rhythm can look like in action. You start your day with some movement and goat cheese for clean energy. Around midday, use Parmesan to flip that muscle-building switch. And then at night, you have cottage cheese to fuel overnight repairs while you sleep. See how it works? It's a system. Each cheese has its time and its purpose, sending a consistent, powerful message of strength to your body all day long.
I want you to leave with this thought. Your body, at 60, 70, 80, and beyond, never forgets the blueprint for strength. It's always there. Sarcopenia, or muscle loss, it thrives on neglect, but it backs off when you start sending it the right signals. Strength isn't just some fond memory. It's a message you can send every single day.
You see, by fueling your body smartly with tools just like these, by moving with purpose, by resting deeply, you're doing more than just living. You're actively communicating with your own biology. You're not just eating, you are sending instructions. So the only question left is, what message are you going to send your body today?